Hello, good beings. Welcome to Midnight Requiem. Today we'll be talking about Anna Nicole Smith. She rose to fame as a model. She was named Playboy's Playmate of the Year in 1993. In 1994, she was wed 89-year-old oil tycoon J. Howard Marshall II, who soon died. Smith spent years fighting for a share of her late husband's estate. She starred in her own reality show from 2002 to 2004. Smith died of an accidental drug overdose in 2007. Anna Nicole Smith was born Vicki Lynn Hogan on November 28, 1967 in Macon, Texas. A high school dropout, Smith's dramatic life began quietly in the small Texas town. She had a difficult childhood growing up without her father, who left the family when she was only a baby. As a teenager, Smith worked at a local fried chicken restaurant. There she met cook Billy Smith, and the pair married when she was only 17 years old. The couple had a son named Daniel in 1986, but the marriage later broke up. Not content with a small town life, Smith dreamed of becoming the next Marilyn Monroe. Before her big break, Smith worked numerous jobs, including as a Walmart employee and a dancer. She left her son in the care of her mother, Virgie Arthur, to work in Houston at a strip club. In 1991, Smith met Texas oil tycoon J. Howard Marshall II while working at a club. She soon had her own reversal of fortune. After mailing in photos of herself naked to Playboy in 1992, Smith got to pose for Hugh Hefner's famed adult magazine. She also appeared in ads for the Guess fashion brand later that same year. In the print advertisement, Smith showed off her impressive curves, looking very much like her beloved icon, Monroe. Smith reached a career milestone the following year, joining a select group of women who have been named Playmate of the Year by Playboy magazine. She parlayed her celebrity into some small film roles. In 1994, Smith appeared in the Leslie Nielsen comedy Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult, and The Hudsucker Proxy with Tim Robbins and Paul Newman. With her sexy image, Smith attracted a lot of interest from celebrity magazines and tabloids. The public seemed to have an insatiable interest in the ups and downs of the life of this seemingly bubbly blonde. Smith didn't seem to mind the media. According to Washington Post, she once said, "I love the paparazzi. They take pictures and I just smile away. I've always liked attention. I didn't get very much growing up, and I've always wanted to be, noticed." Smith married Marshall in 1994. At the time, she was 26 and he was 89. The tremendous age difference between the couple surprised many, and Smith endured allegations of only being after Marshall's sizable fortune. According to People, the bride took off for Greece without her groom shortly after the wedding. The pair also weren't living together in Marshall's final days, and the unusual union ended with Marshall's death in 1995. Smith claimed that Marshall had promised a share of his estate, but he had not put her in his will. She spent years fighting his son, E. Pierce Marshall, in court. The case went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court in 2006, with the court's decision opening the door for Smith to collect money from her late husband's estate, though the case was not yet settled. In 2002, TV viewers got an inside look at Smith and her wacky, quirky ways with a new series, The Anna Nicole Show. A reality program followed her through her daily activities. At times, the show was difficult to watch, as Smith seemed disoriented or confused, but the audience continued to tune in to see what Smith might do or say next. She was often shown in the company of Howard K. Stern, her attorney. Although the show went off the air in 2004, Smith remained popular with the American public. Having struggled with her weight on and off For years, Smith became a spokesperson for a line of diet products in 2003. She lost a significant amount of weight and did some modeling and acting. In 2006, Smith starred in the science fiction comedy Illegal Aliens. Her son Daniel also worked on the project with her. While her professional life appeared to be on the rise, Smith experienced both joy and tragedy in her personal life. She announced that she was pregnant during the summer of 2006 and gave birth to a daughter on September 7, 2006, at a hospital in Bahamas. She named her child Daniel Lynn and was thrilled to be a mother again, but her happiness was short-lived. Her 20-year-old son Daniel died only 3 days later from an apparent drug overdose. Later reports indicated that the interaction of methadone and 2 different types of antidepressants might have caused his death. Smith never truly recovered from the loss. Smith found herself in the middle of the media frenzy with reports on her son's death appearing on entertainment news programs on an almost daily basis. She also became embroiled in a paternity lawsuit regarding her daughter. Her ex-boyfriend photographer, Larry Burkhead, claimed to be Daniel Lynn's father. Smith stated that her attorney, Howard K. Stern, was the child's father, and he is listed on the child's birth certificate. In the midst of all this heartbreak and legal battles, Smith and Stern held a small commitment ceremony after which they ate fried chicken and drank champagne. While the event symbolized their devotion to each other, it was not legally binding. Anna Nicole Smith's best friend and lover, Missy, reveals they actually got married. Anna Nicole Smith's friends and family all agree she loved hard. She spent her life in pursuit of happily ever after, her pal Ashley Wells Lewis tells People in this week's cover story about the model who died of an accidental overdose in 2007 at age 39. Gender didn't matter. Smith's friends, Paul Etiello, who made many dresses for her, says Smith was not straight and not gay. I would say she was fluid. We just did not have a name for it back then. Smith's friend Missy Byram, who is also featured in Netflix's new documentary Anna Nicole Smith, You Don't Know Me, describes her relationship with the late icon in the early 1990s. I was not her first female lover. Byram says, but I knew it would not last. She needed more love than any one human being could give her. Byram met the woman she calls Nikki and had first met as Vicky at a strip club in Houston in the late 1980s, not far from where Smith grew up. They would become co-workers, then best friends. From the minute I met her, she also told me she was gonna end up being a famous model, recalls Byram. And she also told me she was gonna die young. She was a princess, Byram remembers. If she wanted something from you, you would deliver it. That's how it worked. Nikki was adaptable and changeable to whatever circumstances were going on in your particular dynamic of a relationship to get what she needed. Byram continues, she started to manifest the character of Anna Nicole back then. She would even pretend to be stupid when she was dancing. I watch her do it all the time. She learned stripping that guys like to think you're dumb if you're that pretty. Byram says Smith liked to say it takes a smart person to be really dumb. By the time Smith found fame with her first Playboy cover in 1992, she was already involved with the Houston billionaire J. Howard Marshall, whom she met while dancing. Everyone fell in love with her. Byram says, I did too. The pair began a secret relationship. Nikki was getting more dependent on me because I'm taking care of Daniel while she's gone. And then I'm traveling with her all the time. And so we're together all the time. We became lovers, you know. And I mean real sober lovers. It was a conscious thing. Byram notes that there had been some hookups that were more drug and alcohol fueled. She said that she loved me. Anna Nicole Smith never got over missing out on Cameron Diaz's role in The Mask. The icon who died in 2007 and is now the subject of a new documentary grew up wanting to be an actress. The woman born Vicki Lynn Hogan grew up wanting to be an actress. Vicki Lynn was good at mimicking her uncle George Bilwell, remembers, with whom the future Anna Nicole Smith lived for a time. She liked to copy Carol Burnett a lot of all things. Imitate her, she was good at it too. Back in her younger days, when she was 14, 15, acting and joking was a part of her. Of course, as the tale of Anna Nicole Smith goes and is laid out in the new Netflix documentary, Anna Nicole Smith, You Don't Know Me, she quickly moved from Houston strip clubs to Playboy magazine to Guess Jeans billboards and worldwide stardom. From the minute I met her, she always told me she was going to end up being a famous model, recalls Missy Bryant, who met Smith while dancing at the same club and became her best friend and lover. Smith told friends she was reincarnated daughter of Marilyn Monroe at her Playmate of the Year shoot in Malibu in 1993. Smith wandered around and looked through the window of the location home. She saw a painting of Monroe and knocked on the door. She begged me, please, please, can I see your painting? The house belonged to Ashley Wells Lewis, a film producer. Lewis agreed, and in walked Smith, collapsing before the painting. Anna was just so big, she was huge. Lewis remembers standing in front of the painting, still on her wall in Malibu, the hair, the boobs, the whole deal, like the superwoman, but Anna also had this elegance about her. The two bonded over their love for Monroe. Marilyn was an orphan, and that's why people felt sorry for her, Smith would tell Lewis, and that's why everybody loved her so much. Smith died on February 8, 2007 at the age of 39 after being found unconscious in her hotel room at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. In the death as in life, Smith made headlines around the world. As a tribute, Playboy magazine founder Hefner told the press at the time she was a very dear friend who meant a great deal to Playboy and to me personally. After Smith's death, there was much speculation regarding the paternity of her daughter, including one claim made by Prince Frederick von Anhalt, Zaza Garber's husband. He told the Associated Press that he had an affair with Smith and believed that he was Daniel Lynn's father. In April 2007, it was determined by DNA test results that Larry Burkhead is the biological father of Daniel Lynn. Stern did not contest this ruling, and legal custody was granted to Burkhead. There was also speculations over the cause of reality star's death, with authorities eventually announcing that it was an accidental drug overdose. Smith had been taking 9 different kinds of medication in the days before her death. Stern and 2 others were later found guilty of crimes associated with her death. All of these convictions were thrown out in 2011 except for misdemeanor against Smith's psychiatrist. That year, the battle over Smith's claims on Marshall's estate once again made it to the U.S. Supreme Court. This time, it was determined that the earlier Texas probate court finding against Smith would stand. Legal proceedings would continue until 2014 with a judge ruling against another lawsuit brought forth by Smith's team. In 2012, Stern again faced legal consequences for his alleged role in supplying Smith's prescription drug habit. The Second District Court of Appeal adjourned with the vacating of these convictions against Stern. The court stated that it is believed that Stern may have knowingly participated in conduct designed to avoid detection and security in regard to the prescription drugs used by Smith, according to E! News. Although ridiculed by some people for her spacey persona, Smith was also admired for her rise to success despite so many personal obstacles. Perhaps the quintessential underdog, Smith had lots of fans rooting for her to overcome the recent tragedies. Unfortunately, that was not to be. After her death, she has been compared to many of Hollywood's beautiful women who died too young, including Jean Harlow and Anna Nicole Smith's personal favorite, Marilyn Monroe. Smith continues to be a subject of great fascination and speculation to this day. Her life and sudden death has inspired numerous books and documentaries and movies. In 2011, an opera entitled Anna Nicole, telling Smith's tragic tale in a song, debuted in London to mostly favorable reviews. In 2013, Lifetime TV Network released The Anna Nicole Story with Agnes Buckner starring as the troubled pin-up and Martin Landau portraying Marshall. A decade later, in May 2023, Netflix released a documentary titled Anna Nicole Smith, You Don't Know Me. Anna Nicole Smith is buried with her son Daniel Wayne Smith, at Lakeview Memorial Gardens, Nassau, the Bahamas. As always, my good being, be loving, caring to each other. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and leave comments. Have a wonderful day.